What is up, crew? I believe we are live, so let me know if you guys can hear me and see me. I knew it. Newbie mistake. Do not forget to mute your own computer. Why is this not working? Hold on, guys. Hold on. Gotta fix this real quick. Sorry. All right, there we go. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Are we good? All right. Sorry about that. This is the point of doing live, right? You guys get to see no edits, behind the scenes, all my mess ups, they're right here live. I don't get to cut any of that out. Now, if I do that kind of crap on an edited video, I can simply just go back to the recording and go and splice stuff up, but I can't do that here. So I am working with my new dual monitor system. That's why I had my audio coming out of my computer screen and not my laptop, which I'm not used to. So bear with me. How is everyone doing tonight? All right, and I'm also using a different live control room on the YouTube side, so I'm not used to this setup. It's been too long. Quick shout out. I forgot to message you, but Jen, I saw the picture of your face when I was looking through my photos from the Salt Lake City trip, which is hilarious. So thank you for the slight entertainment there. All right, so we have chat on that side, which means I'm going to close down my window on this side. You guys, dual monitors is no joke. You all were right. Everyone who ever told me to get dual monitors, I'm like, I got my laptop. I'm good. I was dead wrong. Way better. And I've only had this set up for a week, no, 2 weeks, and I'm already looking forward to 3 monitors. It's going to be awesome. All right, sweet. So I figured I'd hop on here, do a kind of a last minute. This wasn't really scheduled or anything, just Q&A session for you guys. So I'm excited to be able to get back into regular swing. I've got a lot of cool stuff coming this year. One of them being uploading more content to YouTube. Most of you that have followed me for a while, you know that throughout 2018, life was crazy. I was focusing on a lot of different stuff. I made a shit ton of mistakes, and I did not upload consistent content to YouTube at all. I stayed consistent with my weekly live show, Q&A session, behind the scenes stuff. A few vlogs were put up. Not a whole lot of tutorial stuff, which I feel bad about because I feel like that's what this channel started as, was tutorials and showing you behind the scenes. So I'm going to be committing this year to producing a lot more content here on this channel. I'm even going to put the accountability out there. You can expect to see at least 3 videos per week on this channel moving forward. It's going to be a mixture of stuff. We're going to keep up with the live Q&A session like this. And for those of you that don't like the live Q&A session, totally fine. We're going to be doing tutorials. We're going to be doing vlogs. It won't be a daily vlog until I can get somebody to follow me around with the camera, because believe it or not, I love producing content. Don't get me wrong. I don't enjoy this. Carrying my camera with me everywhere I go. Or the worst part is if I'm in my workflow, I'm here in the office doing stuff, helping my employee with the shipment, working here at the computer. If I'm in a flow, I do not want to stop, be like, oh, hey guys, here's what I'm doing now, 5 minutes later. And then I'm doing this. I don't enjoy that part. So if I can have a videographer to just follow me around, I will happily produce daily content. But until then, you're going to be getting about 3 videos per week is what I'm going to focus on. So this is not about me for tonight. I just wanted to kind of share what's been going on real quick, and then we'll hop into Q&A for you guys in the chat. I was on 2 different trips back to back, and I feel like my 2019 just started yesterday. We were in DC for my sister-in-law's wedding, and we were there for an entire week. I did not do a single ounce of work except for ordering online arbitrage products. Every night I would sit down on my computer, run scans throughout the night, or vice versa throughout the day, and I'd sit down and do my orders. So I did a bunch of OA purchases back in DC, which were then shipped here to the office, which my employee was prepping and shipping, and he's doing amazing. It was such a weird thing to be able to let go of control completely. My employee here was in charge of the FBA shipments going out while I was gone. He was in charge of the daily eBay shipping. It was a weird feeling, but so freeing. And I really wish I would have done that a lot sooner. So that's kind of a cool transition we're in right now, as he's taken over a lot of the physical work, as far as the prepping and the shipping and the daily process. And I'm focusing a lot more on wholesale accounts, getting those things going and getting product here is my main goal. So we were in DC for a week for that wedding. I was home for 4 days. Basically, I spent 4 days on the road because I needed more product. So I was doing a lot of retail arbitrage for 4 days straight, crammed RA stuff all along these tables. And then I was back out to Salt Lake City, which I got to meet a huge group of you guys. So that was a ton of fun down in Salt Lake City. Got back home on Sunday, literally from the airport to dinner. We had a gender reveal party, which I guess it's all out on social media anyway, so I can say it here on YouTube. But we are expecting a baby girl, which is really exciting. But I have no idea what to do with the girl. We have a 4-year-old boy, so I know how to toss around the boy and play monster trucks and all that stuff. But we were so excited when we found out, and then we stopped and went, crap, we have no idea what to do with a girl yet. But it's going to be the same thing as when we had the boy. We had no idea what to do with a baby until you hold him for the first time, and then you just know, right? So really excited. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. So that's been life for the last 2 weeks. It's been crazy, but it's been great. I literally did not do any work except for OA orders. I did no work for 2 weeks, and that was the first 2 weeks that I've taken off, and I don't even know how long. It was amazing. So it's really kind of put me back in the mentality of really creating that life work balance, which we all know that's like almost impossible to do, but really just kind of enjoying family time a lot more this year is what I'm going to go for, which is always fun. Bearded Picker asks, how do we find product? How do you find things to sell on FBA? I heard Walmart is pretty good, especially if you get into board game stuff, right? I love it. So I'm pumped to be back. Thank you guys for hanging in there. I've not been consistent at all on YouTube in like a year and a half. So I'm getting back to my roots on what started this channel, what built it. We are literally, I'm going to pull it up real quick and then we'll dive into the chat. I just want to make sure it's going up a couple hundred a day right now, but I wanted to give a big shout out to you guys. We are at 98,205 subscribers, which literally blows my mind because I started this channel just with my phone holding up and I was opening up a box of toys and I said, hey guys, my name's Chaz. I'm going to document my journey in this whole Amazon ball game. And it just went from there. I've always documented behind the scenes. That's been the heart of this channel. I mixed in some tutorials around there. But we are going to be hitting 100,000 subscribers and getting that silver play button. And that's going to be happening within the next 2 weeks. I'd say within 10 days. We're gaining about 200 subscribers a day right now. And that's not me necessarily producing the content that did that. That's you guys. So I'm really, really excited to keep growing this thing, put a lot more effort into it. The sad part is I didn't put hardly any effort into this channel, which I feel bad about because I know we have a different home base of you guys here that's not on Instagram and Facebook. And what I've learned doing social media content is there's a different audience on every platform. And I struggle with, I've always focused on Facebook groups and Instagram. And I completely just don't even acknowledge like, hey, our YouTube community is its own community. So that's what I'm going to be here for moving forward, is going to be putting a lot more effort into this for you guys. So aside from that, this is basically just open Q&A. I'm going to hop up here for like the next 20, 25 minutes. I am going to keep it short tonight, guys, which is rare. Usually these things go on for like an hour and a half. But I still got a bunch of work to do tonight, catching up on a ton of stuff after 2 weeks off. So I'm going to bust out about 20, 25, maybe 30 minutes if we get going. Some Q&A for you guys. Nice, man. Shane is 22 away from 50K, which is awesome. Deserves it too, man. Been putting out some awesome content. All right, so let's dive in. If you guys got questions, drop them in the chat below. And as always, anything that comes out of my mouth on these shows are just basically my personal experience and personal opinions. They may not be the best way or the right way. It's just what I do. Yes, we do eBay. So that whole corner back there, that's all electronics. I'm loving that my webcam is so much more clear now that I plugged in the hard line instead of using Wi-Fi. So that's all electronics over there. That you have just an electronics account. You guys can't see it too much, but let me pop this up. This is going to be unedited. How about that? You guys like behind the scenes footage? We have that whole loft up there. So you guys can kind of see those are racks of shoes. And then all that is going to be Trista's clothing up in bins. A lot of it you can't see up there. But it's nice to have that loft because it's kind of up and out of the way. We'll get you guys back on here. All right, we'll work with that. Yeah, so we do eBay, and I'm definitely going to be hitting it a lot more consistently this year. I actually hired that employee just for the eBay account, and now he's kind of crossed over and he's helping me out with the Amazon world too. Can you explain what the labels are for? If Amazon is shipping, why do you have to label? Because when something sells and they scan that product off their shelf to ship it to the customer, it's going to be tied to you and your account. So you want to make sure that you're getting commission for the stuff that you're selling. Chaz, when you do RA, do you buy products that other sellers are on or when there are no sellers? It's gold if there's no FBA sellers on the listing. You can always price a little bit higher because you'll have that prime shipping versus the other guys, which are merchant filled, which typically, unless they're doing seller fulfilled prime, they're not going to have that prime shipping. But yeah, absolutely. I'll sell it. It's all about sales velocity, which is how fast it's moving versus how many people are on the listing. So for example, if we've got a product, Monopoly, I just saw Bearded Picker, so I got to say Monopoly Millennial, right? Hundreds of people were selling this. So there's, 200 plus people on the listing, but they're selling. I mean, it's hard to even fathom just how many hundreds of units and thousands of units are selling every single day. So yeah, you can hop on that and your stuff is going to sell through. But if you've got a product that doesn't show a great history on the Keepa chart, the rank isn't good per se, then you're really not going to be able to really get on that listing and sell through quick. So you've got to always check Keepa. Keepa is going to be your best tool that you can have in this business. Everyone's always asking about like softwares and stuff you can pay for, but I think a lot of people fail to really learn the basics, and that comes down to Keepa. Keepa is your number one tool you will use in the Amazon business. Just sub to the Bearded Picker. Yeah, if you guys are not following Bearded Picker, go give him a follow. Definitely one of the best ones out here. So we hit labels, RA. Do you sell your RA on eBay or FBA? Typically, it's going to be FBA, but there are a lot of items that we have sold on eBay as well. Especially if I send it into FBA and it ends up just being a poor product, it doesn't sell through on Amazon for whatever reason, then I'll list it on eBay and then use what's called multi-channel fulfillment to be able to basically drop ship from your own Amazon store, and Amazon will ship it to the eBay customer. And that's just called multi-channel fulfillment. I've got a video coming out soon that's going to cover that, but you can check out YouTube. There's tons of them out there. Are we still doing the storefront? Yes, we are. It's been hit or miss. We're definitely learning how precious it is to have an Amazon or an eBay account where there's already customers. And I think a lot of us take that for granted because now that we've run a physical storefront, you guys can't see it, but inside that door right there, we have an extra 400 square feet, and it was just empty space. And we got a sweet deal from our landlord if we were going to take it. So we ended up using that and just shoving a bunch of the clothing that Trista sells on eBay and Poshmark. And we opened up kind of a used clothing boutique out of there. So we've been open Fridays and Saturdays is like the bulk of it. Sometimes Thursdays, sometimes never Sundays, but sometimes we'll adjust hours depending on how many people we have. And it's been a learning experience because we are in this weird spot where we are a block away from our downtown area where all the foot traffic is. And there's not a lot of foot traffic down here. We have a busy hair salon next door, which has been great. We've had a lot of customers come through that way. But I'm able to use that as a physical storefront for wholesale accounts now, which has been a huge help. So that's definitely going to be a massive bonus. So we'll keep it as long as I'm able to use it for wholesale accounts. And then as far as the actual sales coming out of that, so far we've been breaking even and making a few bucks every month. It's nothing astronomical. It's not going to pay our bills for now, but we're here at the office anyways. And it's not like we have to put in any extra effort just to listen for a customer coming in and go greet them and check them out if they buy anything. Now, if it was a completely separate storefront, we do not want to be tied down to a job, even if we create that job ourselves. So we would not do it if it was not already on, like, attached to our warehouse. So it's really not much extra effort just to flip an open sign up. But we're going to be doing a little bit more marketing here locally and try to get some more foot traffic through there. Best method for keeping track of eBay inventory. I have no method, and it's a horrible way to do it. So I am going to be figuring all that out this year. I need to completely revamp everything we touch internally, physically here in the office. I have been in a complete revamping mode and just creating the best efficiency possible. And that's why I stopped working. My work the last 3 years has 100% been on a laptop, on my MacBook Pro. My trackpad, all my video editing that I've done was always with the trackpad on my MacBook Pro. So my way of being more efficient with all the online stuff and video is to get the dual monitor set up, a mouse, a keyboard, and that's been amazing. I'm like kicking myself I didn't do it earlier. And then with that, we're going to be coming up with a whole new system for this corner here. I want to have like the typical like bin A, bin B, bin C type of setup up there. Trista does that upstairs with all of her clothing because she's got 1,000+ pieces of clothing up there. So she's way more organized than I am. She can sell something and know exactly where it's at. Us, I mean, we don't have a ton of listings up either. We have 120 something listings up, I believe. And they're all pretty big items. So it's not like they're tough to find, but we do need to come up with a better inventory tracking system for that. Can I do a tutorial on how to create a new listing with pictures for FBA? Yes, I can. I have a whole slew of videos dropping over the next like 30 days, 30 to 45 days. There's going to be a ton of content dropping that's going to really help you guys out. What happens with sales when you go away for a couple days or vacation? How do you work that out? In the past, before I had an employee that does my shipping for me, we just have to put the store on vacation mode, and stuff would still sell, but definitely not as much as usual, because if you put your store on vacation mode on eBay, you can actually, this is the beautiful part about Amazon, is if you use FBA, I mean, you can travel wherever you want, but if your stuff is sent in, Amazon's shipping it all. So you don't have to take a vacation mode from your store. But with eBay, you put on vacation mode and it's going to notify the seller. The item is available for sale, but it will tell them you're in vacation mode and you're not going to be able to ship it until, whatever date that is set there. Are we lagging on my camera at all? I feel like my camera is lagging on this screen. Maybe it was just me. Keepa, KEEPA.com. It's free to use. They have like a paid subscription you could do too, but it's basically free to use. Install the Chrome extension if you have not already, because when you look at a Amazon product page, that Keepa chart will show up right underneath the buy box. So that's really helpful to have everything on one page. It's basically just a product tracker. It will show you the entire history of a product, the pricing. It will show you what's called sales rank, which is how fast something is selling. All the info that you need on a product is going to be right there. Really helpful thing is it shows when Amazon is in stock, because a common mistake people make is they go into a store, they scan a product, and they're like, oh my gosh, I can make a $10 profit. But then when they look at Keepa, they don't see that they're only going to make a $10 profit because Amazon is temporarily out of stock. I mean, if you ship it in and sell it quick, you can still make your money. But the problem with that is Amazon can come in stock on basically any listing anytime, and there's no rhyme or reason to it sometimes. So if they go out of stock, just know that don't go deep on that product unless you got a really good price on it, because they can come back in stock at a very low price at any time. First time on the live Q&A. What's up, Anthony? How you doing, man? Been doing wholesale FBA for a bit, but wanted to get into RA to build capital and cash flow. Your stories are so inspiring. I'm still so lost to RA. Appreciate you giving us a follow and being here live. Let me scroll back up. That just bumped back down. So lost at RA. Watch videos, follow the Instagram accounts, all that stuff. But here's what I say. As much as we love it when you watch our types of videos, and we have tons of videos put out just here on this channel, Bearded Picker is another fantastic one to watch for RA. He's definitely amazing. He's probably the best one at showing the actual in-store buying methods. So definitely give him a follow. And even if you watch all these videos, we can show you exactly how to do it, but it's going to come down to you going into stores, taking out your phone and scanning products, not just scanning products, but making some bad buys sometimes, sending them to Amazon, and just getting the process down. Because once you have the process down, you're going to get better with experience. I think too many people just watch videos and that's all they do. They get inspired, but then they don't actually go into the stores and scan and buy. You can't go scan 10 things and be like, well, I didn't find anything, I'm going to go back home. You've got to scan literally thousands, and I'm not exaggerating that number. I mean, Shane could tell you here right now, you have to scan thousands of items in order to start getting decent at knowing the process of this all. But it really comes down to just getting your butt in the stores, buying product and sending it in. Sometimes you're going to break even. Sometimes you're going to lose money. But if you keep doing that, you're going to get better, right? Think about when you were a baby and you started walking, right? You start walking, you fall on your face. You don't, as a baby, you don't think, well, that hurt, I'm not going to do that again. You get back up and you keep doing it, or your parents are forcing you to do it, and you get better, right? You get a little wobbly at first, and then you get better, and then next thing you know, boom, you've got these like crazy, amazing athletes competing in all these awesome sports, right? That's like very, very fine-tuned, high-level stuff. And it's the same thing in this business. Doesn't matter if you're doing online arbitrage, wholesale, private label, retail arbitrage. It starts with getting up and learning how to do it in the beginning. You're not going to be great and efficient, but as you do this more with practicing week after week, month after month, shipment after shipment, listing after listing, whatever method you're doing, the more you practice, the better you're going to get. That's just like anything in life. When you first start on Amazon, I heard they are pretty much gated on everything except for books. I don't have any interest in doing books. How can this be worked around? Not everything is going to be gated. Sometimes it's just going to be certain brands. Sometimes it's certain categories. A couple different things. One, focus on the stuff that you can sell. So literally go down an aisle, choose a category. If you want to sell toys, you can sell toys. If you want to sell home and kitchen, go down the home and kitchen aisle. Go down the aisle of the category you want to sell in. Start scanning everything and make a physical list. Like just open up a notepad on your phone or something, but make a list of all the brands that you are not gated in. And then those are the brands you know to focus on. If you keep running into brands that you're gated in but want to get approved for, then you have to go through a distributor that's going to give you a wholesale invoice, and you have to order a minimum of 10 units. This is all on Amazon's apply page. It's an application. So when you hit apply or request approval for that brand, it tells you exactly what they want. They want 10 units from a distributor of that brand. So you go find a distributor for that brand and done. That's how you can get approved for it. Now, with that being said, the bigger the brand, the harder it's going to be. You can't just roll up to a distributor selling Nike and get approved for Nike, right? Certain brands like Lego and Nike are not going to be as easy as just find a distributor, because there's rarely any decent distributors are going to sell to us small timers. They want hundreds of thousands of dollars put in their orders. But that's my 2 cents on that. Awesome, Tony. Thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Oh, man, I love this one. Do you feel like this is something you need to dive into head first or go through a course? How am I going to best answer this? I see it from both sides. One, if you are limited on capital and you're looking into courses, you do not need them. They're not a requirement. Let me just be upfront with that. You do not need a course in any of it, but you will be putting in more time to learn it. So for example, if you want to go in and learn how to do retail arbitrage, there are thousands of hours of videos here in the YouTube space about retail arbitrage. So you can dive through and spend the time to go through and pick and pull all the nuggets that you can, and then go out and practice with it, and then come back and learn more, and then go out and implement it in trial and error. It's going to take you a lot longer to do that. Here's where the flip side comes in. If you want to go through a course, sometimes you're going to be able to shortcut a lot of those trials and errors that might be answered in a video series inside of a course, if you will. Now, I'm not a big fan of anyone taking their money, because I've seen this too many times. Somebody will say, hey, Chaz, I just spent $2,000 on a course, but now I have no money to buy stuff. Do not put yourself in that situation. If you are shorter on capital, cash to buy stuff, because this is a cash flow business, if you are short on cash, do not go blow it on courses. Get your butt in the stores, start ordering online, call wholesalers, get your private label, whatever method you want to do, just start doing it and learn by trial and error to build your cash flow. If you have the capital and you want to save some time, then courses can be a great way to do that. So I see it from both sides of the fence, but I am not a fan of somebody who's brand new spending all of their money on a course, and then you're going to really struggle finding product because you can't buy it all. Whatever cash you got in the beginning, it needs to go into product more than anything. And on the, I guess there's a third part to that. If you've been doing this a while and you have the foundation built, then there's courses that can help you take it to that next level. And that's where you get into some different stuff there. Nice. Tony got approved for Nerf. Such a fun category. What did you do when you were transitioning to full time and were burning out? I can't even count how many times I've been in the burnout phase. Am I the only one that burns out, or is anyone else? Because I feel like that's most business owners at some point or another. You get the burnout. But what did I do to overcome it? For me, it's taking breaks, and that's something I have to remind myself all the time, because I can work till midnight, no problem, every single night. I did last night. I worked till midnight, but I've also been gone for 2 weeks. So that 2 weeks was a great refresher for me, especially being the end of the year. And then now we're starting the new year. For me, my new year started yesterday because I've been traveling for 2 weeks. But for me, it's different for everybody. But for me, it's going to be time off, reflecting on what I'm really doing this for and what I'm doing, right? Like stickering stuff, the physical prep and labor, don't like it at all. Can't stand it. But I did it for 2 years, 2.5 years, actually, 2.5 years before I hired somebody to do that part for me. And then guess what? I found more joy in my work because I was doing more stuff, which is sourcing, connecting with you guys, doing YouTube, building content, Instagram. Like, I love that world. I don't love stickers. So doing more of what you actually enjoy is really going to help you out with the burnout. And for me, taking time off, that's always a win for me. When I say time off, like, this doesn't mean just unplug from the world, for days at a time. That might, I do that sometimes. Sometimes I go MIA. I don't post a single thing on Instagram, Facebook, nothing for days at a time, because I need that mental break, and that helps me get refreshed. Other times my break might just be playing video games one night. That's how it is sometimes. So you need to define what that's going to be for you. That's just what works for me. I have never sold vinyl records. I never got into CDs, vinyl records, any of that category. Every time I'm in Goodwill, though, I see some of because anytime you go in thrift stores or Goodwills, often you see kind of the same people picking through stuff. There's always some guys demolishing the CD section in a good way. They're bringing out mountains of these CDs. So I know there's money to be made in vinyl and CDs and that whole category, but I have never ventured into it. What app can I use to find great in-store deals before I actually go to the store? I just learned about BrickSeek. BrickSeek is going to be the number one tool. I think most people are aware of that by now. And then number two is just use the apps, right? Walmart, Target, Kohl's, etc. You can use the apps and kind of filter down what their clearance stuff looks like per store too. So you can toggle, if you don't know, if you search for an item, you can toggle between the online price and the in-store price, and you can set which in-store location you're looking at. So that's another way to do it too. That's how a lot of these, you have these Walmart glitch groups. That's how a lot of them do that. They're manually looking on the Walmart app, and they're just looking for stuff that has a decent price difference. It, might have was $49.99. Now it's $19.99. So they start looking at that stuff. Is there somewhere on Amazon where it shows you what you're ungated for and what you are gated for? Not an actual list that I know of. You're really just going to have to start scanning products or manually type it into your Seller Central to find that. But if you're looking for like categories, then it's hold on. I got dual monitors now. I can look this up. So when you log into Seller Central, on the top under catalog, you can click view selling application. So anything that you've ever applied for, it will show a whole like brand and category list right there. But as far as an actual list, if anyone does know, I would love to know the answer to that. If there is an actual physical list somewhere that would show you. Rise and grind picker. What's up, man? Thank you so much for the super chat. Going to hit that 100K subs. Retail arbitrage is king. I love RA. I love it, love it, love it. Did someone say retail arbitrage? All right, let me scroll back up, get to your questions. We got Mr. Brent. I always butcher your last name, man. Fierstad? I think the J silent. Fierstad? I've heard you say it in your IG stories many times, but I forget. Man, Brent and I go back. We've known each other for, I don't even know, 10 years? Something like that? That was like old school fitness days. How do I do quick sales? I am sole proprietor and eBay has me stuck on 10 listings per month. It's slow moving. They won't increase it yet. First question is, how many times have you called them to ask for or request an increase in your listings? If you've already called a couple times, spoken to a few different reps, and they're still saying they want to see more sales, you just need to buy stuff that's in demand. Here's a big mistake people are making, okay? I used to make this as a newbie too, which is why I'm going to talk about it. Stop buying stuff that is cheap but doesn't show any sold history. Let me repeat that. Stop buying stuff just because it's cheap. Oh, it's only $5 or only $1, but it has no history of sales on eBay. Okay? People ask why I'm able to sell old electronics back here pretty quickly. Within 30 days, most of the stuff usually sells. Of course, there's stuff back there that's been sitting for 2 months and I got to get rid of it. But in general, I'm selling my stuff within 30 days, sometimes 45, because I'm only buying stuff that shows multiple sales per month. So if you want to increase your sales, you've got to buy stuff that has a solid history. Stop buying stuff just because it's cheap. That was a big lesson that both Tristan and I learned during garage sale season, our first garage sale season 3 years ago. We were just buying everything because it's like, wow, this football's only 50 cents. I bet I can sell it for $10. And then it didn't sell because if I would have looked at sold comps, there were no sold comps, or there was 1 or 2 or something like that. Buy stuff that's in demand and price it competitively with a great photo setup, with keywords in your title, with a great description. It's a combo lock. You get that combo lock, you're going to make the sale. It's not just about the photo or just the price or just the title or just the keywords. It is really a combo lock to make a sale happen. It's a combination of the photos, the listing itself, and the price. You've got to stay competitive with that price if you want to sell it a little bit quicker. I'm not saying go in and lowball people, but hopefully you guys get what I'm saying there. It is a combo lock, but it comes down to really hammering down and just buy stuff that's in demand. And if you want to do it, here's one method I've used for different things. If you want to do this just for the sake of getting the increase on your listing limit, go buy stuff that you will break even on, but you know it's going to sell like that. Sell 10 or 20 of those, not just one item. You could do 20 different items, but go sell 20 items really, really fast at a break-even price after your fees and your shipping. And I know most people are going to quote me on that. Be like, well, Chaz said to buy stuff you don't make money on. That's not what I'm saying. Even if you break even, You then can call eBay and be like, hey, you can see I sold 20 things. Can I have a listing increase? Boom. Then you go focus on your profitable items. I've used that method in many different scenarios. And again, anything I talk about is just my personal opinion. It may work for me, but it may not work for you. So take it with a grain of salt. Awesome. Thank you. Liquidation OH, Ohio, I would assume. Love the content. Keep it coming. Almost to 100K. Thank you. Much appreciated. We'll have to do a, what was I at before? I was at 98,205. It'd be kind of fun to wait until I'm like a few people away, 205 to 212. So that means some of you subscribed just now. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We should wait until it's like 99, 9, 80, like 20 people away, and then I'll go live and we can all celebrate together. Because again, this is not me putting out the content that's like developing 100,000 subscribers. This is you guys committing to this channel. So thank you more than anything. Everyday FBA, put this in the diaper fund. I love it, man. Congrats. Thank you. Much appreciated. That's awesome. Bearded Picker is 12 away from 50K. Awesome, man. I'll hop on after I'm wrapped up on this one. Congrats. All right, let me scroll back up, hammer out some last minute questions. I got about 3 more minutes and I got to get some work done. I'm working on a video right now. I'm looking at this screen because my video editor got back to me. So you guys know the Ross shoe hunting video and the Walmart retail arbitrage video. I went through 2 weeks ago. Yes, I've had the content for 2 weeks. I haven't had it edited, but it's in the final stages. I should have final draft ready tomorrow night of the Goodwill hunting electronics video. Everyone's been asking me about finding electronics and all my tips and strategies for electronics. Everything is packed in this 37-minute video for you guys. So hopefully you guys get some value out of the content that's going to be coming with that. I tried to put as much as I could into that video for you guys. All right, let me scroll down. We'll catch a few last-minute questions for you guys. I find it hard to do RA when I get items at Goodwill for $1 and flip them for average sale price of $24. I can get 100 items for $100 and profit $2,400 versus RA where I spend 100 and get 100. Exactly. That is why I love both methods because you cannot beat thrift store buys. Like I've got, where's this thing at? This guy right here. I was in Salt Lake City. And that's another video, by the way, is how to travel and make money, bringing product home with you for eBay. That's a whole different video series I'm going to start doing. So this guy right here, I paid $1 at a Goodwill in Salt Lake City. Sorry, Salt Lake City people, I took this one. There's one sold comp and one active listing for $199. So even with my checked bag fee of $30 for all this stuff here on the table to bring it back, maybe my $1 buy cost then went up to $7. $7 turned into $200. Of course, got fees and shipping in there, but you guys know what I mean. You can't beat those ROIs. Like, it's just stupid good. That's why I keep doing that. RA is another way to make money, but it's extremely capital intensive. I mean, you're looking at thrift store hunting and Goodwills, garage sales, estate sales. You're looking at spending hundreds. I mean, that's like most. You're looking at spending at most hundreds of dollars. Retail arbitrage, you can go drop $2,000 in a store easily. And that's the difference between the two. So if you're limited on funds, stick with thrift stores and that kind of stuff for eBay side. If you get into retail arbitrage, just know you've got to have some cash flow going because it's easy to spend money retail arbitrage because you are spending, if you're lucky, you're getting 100% ROI, right? If you're out there hunting that stuff. But in general, I mean, 30, 40% return on your money is great with retail arbitrage. Would you constantly send stuff into FBA or wait until you have a large shipment to cut down inbound shipping charges? Definitely wait until you have a little bit more. I mean, it depends how long the wait is. Don't wait 2 weeks to send stuff in. For me, I like to send out at least one shipment per week. And I just wait until I have at least like 40, 50 items because then it does cut down on your shipping tremendously. Yes, solds. When you hear us say sold comps, that's comparisons. Solds is eBay's version of Keepa. Unfortunately, eBay is very closed-minded with softwares, so they don't like third-party companies coming in there and taking their data and doing stuff. So there is no Keepa chart for eBay. You just have to go by sold listings. And it's funny. It's such a simple reminder, but we all battle that sometimes. Mark, thanks for the super chat, my friend. Appreciate it. He said, love your channel. Just started FBA. Can't sell much, so kill it on eBay. Tips how to get approved on FBA. It's because you, the bearded picker, rise and grind, that motivated me to start my channel. That's awesome, man. Yeah, so it's the same thing. If you missed it earlier, go back and watch the recording of this, because I did touch on that topic about getting approved. You have to go through a distributor if you want to get approved for certain brands or categories. That's the game that they want us to play. So we have to jump through those hoops now. It never used to be that way, but it's getting more and more strict on retail and online arbitrage people because of the brand restrictions. Or if you have positive selling metrics, you can actually just keep applying for those brands and hopefully get auto approved, which is a pretty common thing after you've been selling for a while. Is the Ross shoe game still good? I recently picked up about a dozen pairs over the last few weeks and nothing is sold yet. Ross is, I mean, it's regional too. I'm going to turn my heater off. Ass is on fire. So here's the thing with Ross. At least in our area, it's super seasonal. Right now is really dry up in this area. I've been checking here and there at least once a week. And for shoes specifically, I buy other things out of there, but for shoes, it's hit or miss. And then other times it's like you walk in there and I can pull out, 8 pair per store. So it really is just a matter of seasons, at least here in my area. And then I know other areas might be better or worse. But it all comes down to consistency is what I learned. You have to go in consistently because you may not be the only one going in that store and trying to find stuff. Everyday FBA, 54 subs away from 3K. Nice work. Go check out Everyday FBA. Help a man out. Oh, man, I love this topic. Any tips on convincing my wife this is real? I'm ready to get started, Dawn. Dawn, it's going to take results to get her on board. So a lot of people don't know the backstory. We need to come on live, me and Trista, my wife. We need to come on live and do like a, back then episode and just like walk you through the experience, because we've been in this for 3 years and 2 months. 3 years and 2 months has been kind of our reselling journey so far. But it took her a good 8 months to even a year. It took her about a year to fully understand it and understand it works. Because in the beginning, she just knew I was in the garage. We have an office now, but we spent 2 years working out of our garage. And for 2 years, or for the first year, actually, she saw me in the garage every day until like midnight. And she didn't get it. She didn't understand it. And we had some arguments because I was gone a lot between retail arbitrage, which is all I was doing back then, and sourcing, or between sourcing and shipping, I was gone. And so we had some arguments about that. And then when I was able to be like, hey, we just made $1,000 this week, that's when she started to be like, wait, what? This is legit? And then we started to make enough where she can start to contemplate like, well, if you're making $1,000 a week doing this and I bring home 700 every 2 weeks for a paycheck, something's not making sense. So then she quit her job and we went in and we just started doing all this. So results, my friend, are the answer. Create results, and she will, and lots of conversations, of course. But I'm telling you, if you can say I'm making actual money doing this, she will listen. That's just my personal opinion. All right. I promise this is the last little stretch of questions, and then I've got to get back to work. But I appreciate you guys tuning in, especially late night. Super random. This wasn't scheduled or anything. So much appreciated. And if you guys enjoy the content, by the way, if you don't know by now, it tremendously helps out our channels if you hit the thumbs up button. So anytime you watch a video, you enjoy their content and the time that they're putting into it, please hit the thumbs up button on those videos, as well as this one as well, because it really does help out. All right. If I find a product and send in a couple to test the market and they sell pretty quickly, what's your usual what's usually your next step? Do you send in a big shipment of that item or test it out for a few more weeks? Typically, if I'm testing something out, it's between 3 and 5 units, and like 5 is max. If it's a really good deal, I'll just buy 5. I might go to 10 if it's like stupid good, like all the data is there, Keepa checks out, pricing is good, then I'll go up to 10. No more than 10 is like my absolute max. If those sell through fairly quickly, 10 is nice, or I should say 5 or 10 is nice, smaller quantity because you can see how fast they're going to sell. If they sell out, then if it's still, I have to recheck Keepa, recheck how many sellers came on the listing. I recheck the whole thing. If it's still that good, then I'll go up to like 20 and then go from there. If I'm selling more than 20, I'm going to try to get a wholesale account through a distributor for that product. And that's one method of getting wholesale accounts is look at the RA stuff, retail arbitrage and online arbitrage stuff that you have been selling fairly well in a lot of, and then go through those brands and try to find distributors or get to the manufacturer level. And that's another way you can get those wholesale accounts. All right, I am going to scroll down to the bottom. There you go. I just went and spent 500, turned it into 1,200, and my wife is on board as of now. That's what I'm telling you guys. It's all in results. Brian, thank you for the new sub. Much appreciated. How many sources do you have? Sources of product, sources of income. Do you want to specify? And if you guys don't know, like if you're new to the channel, I'm completely transparent about like 99.99% of everything. Sources of product. So we do retail arbitrage and online arbitrage has been home base of our whole business last year. The issue is it's very time consuming to do all the driving. Online arbitrage is not time consuming at all because you set your computer and do it, but all the driving around, I love retail arbitrage to death. I'm a treasure hunter. I love it, but it's very, very time consuming if you do it more on a full-time level. So this year I'm really hammering on wholesale. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on this year. So retail arbitrage, online arbitrage are two methods that we use. Wholesale is going to be the third one that we use. Those are our three main product sources. And like I said, they were 100% RA and OA, a little bit of wholesale, a few SKUs that we sold last year, not much. So RA, OA was last year. This year, I want wholesale to become the bread and butter so I can go do RA just when I feel like it and as, a fun thing to do because I do love it. But there's a balance between, and I'm sure some of the other RA guys in here can agree, and I'd love to hear you guys' opinion too, comment below. Retail arbitrage is profitable and it's fun, but it becomes less fun when you have to rely on it as your sole income because it's very time consuming on driving around. Unless you get to the point where you hire shoppers, which are the people you give them a buy list is what it's called. And then you send them out to go get all the product. That is when you can scale the retail business. But man, it's very time consuming. So I would love to be able to cut back on the drive time this year, focus on wholesale as our bread and butter, and then still go out and do retail arbitrage like once or twice a week, just because I love to do it. You can't beat that feeling when you're in a store and you scan something and you're like, damn, I can make 100% ROI on this. And they have multiples. Like, I love that. We do wholesale on eBay. I actually put in my first legit ever wholesale order with a supplier specifically for eBay today. And I'm really excited about it. It's 237 units it's a combination of shoes and clothing, mostly shoes, a little bit of clothing, probably like 75-25 shoes and clothing. So I'm really excited for that because to get 237 units for eBay out of like thrift stores, that would have taken a long time, but I was able to do this through a text message. So I'm pumped. And of course, the more I get into wholesale, the more I'm going to talk about it here on this channel. And of course, the more I learn, the more I can teach you guys. Okay. I think yep, there we go. Sorry, I had to, my little chat froze. So I had to make sure it was working still. All right, sweet. Do you do a wholesale on or I already just answered that one. Yeah, okay. Last topic / question, and then I got to cut it. On I have a ton of wholesale accounts, but most are not profitable enough for Amazon. That is going to be most wholesale accounts that you get. And that's why most people have a hard time with it. That's why I struggled with it. I wanted to start doing wholesale 2 years ago, but guess what? I sent out some emails, made some phone calls, opened up a few accounts, not a lot. I opened up like 5, 6, 7 accounts. And then I was really pumped up and excited, like, yes, we can finally do wholesale. And I'd sit here and look through their catalog and then cross-check with Amazon, and then look at their catalog and cross-check with Amazon. And I couldn't find anything. So very discouraging if you let that get to your head. Don't. It's a numbers game. You are going to have to open up 10 wholesale accounts to maybe find one profitable product. That is the name of the game. And if you're not willing to do that and take those punches to the face, it's not going to be a game for you. Stick with RA, OA, et cetera, or private label. But if you're wanting to put in the hours and the work that it takes to find those, that's where it's at. The wholesale accounts I have right now, I have 3 solid wholesale accounts that are profitable right now. And I have opened up probably 40, maybe not 40, like 30 to 40 wholesale accounts to find the 3 that I can source from right now. That's just one example. Some people are amazing on the phone and sweet talking, so they might be able to go and have a much higher ratio. Other people might open up 100 accounts and get 1 account that's profitable. It's going to vary, but that kind of gives you a mental foundation to work out of. All right, my friends, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. If you have not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell notification if you want to get notified every time we go live or when I upload a video. And if you want to do us a massive favor, hit the thumbs up button, smash it as we call it, and we will catch you guys next time. I am moving forward going to be uploading multiple times per week, as well as having a dedicated slot here on YouTube for these live Q&As. So I'm more than happy to hop on here and hang out with you guys. And really good news, starting Friday is I'll do a post, but starting Friday is going to be our regular live Q&A show, and Trista is going to be back. A lot of people did not know because we weren't able to say anything for about 4 months, but Trista is pregnant. If anyone did not know that already, it's all over the interwebs, so it's safe to say here, but we are expecting a little girl in June 1st or 2nd. We've had 2 different, we need to figure out which one that is, but June 1st or 2nd, we're going to have a little girl. But because of that, Trista, for many, many months, was not feeling well, and she did not want to sit up here when she was nauseous and try to do Q&A. But she, as of Friday, is going to be back in action with me live right here or this side, depending which one she chooses. And she'll be able to pop in here and give you guys her 2 cents on all these topics. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated. Have a great night. We'll catch you next time. Peace.